Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th, Eubank Jr. versus Benn. 30 years of rivalry and hatred.
I do hate him.
All comes down to this. The next generation, a new destroyer. For family, history, legacy. Eubank Jr. versus Benn, April 26th. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. We were looking forward to Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. I don't think we knew it would deliver quite like that. Mate, what a fight.
Extraordinary, brilliant, fantastic, wonderful. How many superlatives. It was a fight for the ages, and it just lived up to everything. The hype, the pre-fight dramas, from the eggs to the weight to the whether Senior would turn up, all of that, and how it just unfolded on the night was just one of the most wonderful occasions I think I've ever been to. Just seeing Chris Senior gave all of us just a massive boost at ringside. It was a terrific picture, probably the picture of the year, boxing-wise so far, seeing the two of them together come out the car. And the ring walks, and then when the bell goes, you just never know. You hope, but you don't know. And what they may have lacked maybe in world-class technical skills, they made up for in incredible bucket loads of commitment and dedication and fire and pride. And I mean, Chris talking to him in there, and Conor coming back, and Chris looking slightly bigger at times and stronger, but then Conor finding wingy in body shots. And you thought at one point Conor was going to win it, and then Chris sort of eked it out down the stretch. I thought he was just a little bit too strong.
I thought he was close to stopping Conor.
I thought he was,
really
yeah.
did.
I thought Conor right at the end looked very, very tired, but then he would just swing back again. He showed an extraordinary chin. It was an amazing effort for Conor Benn to come up in weight and do that. I thought he would be ferocious and fabulous, but he didn't he wasn't gung-ho. And he obviously listened to Tony, and he got the tactics right, but Chris was just a little bit stronger. See you guys. He was just a little bit stronger and more accurate at times down the home stretch, the championship rounds. He looked at the clock a couple of times. He had to deal with a cut. I mean, hats off to Chris Eubank Jr. I thought he was brilliant tonight, but I thought Conor Benn was brilliant. And I said like halfway through the commentary that whoever loses will wake up in the morning and just feel absolutely awful, and because it's such a rivalry. But you know what? I hope Conor Benn wakes up in the morning and he's just incredibly proud of himself, because the two of them left their souls in there tonight, and it was a 12-round war that we want to see again. Everyone I've talked to just wants to see a rematch, and why not? I mean, it was entertainment, it was fantastic, it was just brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, even forgetting the entertainment factor, I think what they left in the ring in terms of the heart, I think we can all agree, we believe they might have over-delivered to our expectations. I'm going to play this into my mic. He's here, the crowd are going wild. I was there when he came out of the lift and I had goosebumps, but hearing your voice over the top, and you could hear on DAZN's pay-per-view, the noise that generated when plastered up on the big screen. Is that one of the most iconic British boxing moments actually ever?
I honestly, I still feel it now, my shoulders and everything. I couldn't believe it, because I didn't think he was coming, and I don't actually know if Junior thought he was coming or whether that was another trick up his sleeve. I don't think he did. I think it was a bit of a, well, he would have known at some point, but I was also told that we were getting the Eubank arrival, but the guys at DAZN didn't tell us who was in there. So when he got out the car, it was a genuine, like, stop me moment. It was unreal. Honestly, I can still feel it now, Oscar. It was incredible. It was exactly what we'd all hoped for, and it was brilliant to see father and son together, just like Nigel and Conor have been, and all of the pictures in the ring of Conor and Chris Senior and Nigel, just all of it. Just, it was an amazing picture. It was almost like theatre tonight, where everybody got an incredible night of entertainment, and the stories, the twists. You didn't know whether one of them would go down at some point in the fight. They both just had trained so hard for that moment, and neither wanted to lose. It was just brilliant. And I think there's just something about the Eubanks and the Benns which have brought down the genes, the hearts maybe, they're warriors. And I loved Chris Eubank Sr. as a kid. I looked up to him. I thought he was brilliant drama. I was a big fan of his. I always wanted him to beat Nigel. And then when I worked with him, I loved Nigel, and I've always had a great connection with Nigel since we've worked together. Steve Collins here as well. Just amazing times. And for the sons to put a fight on like that, when everybody was sort of naysaying, and the controversy and all of that goes out the window when you see warriors that do that, the two of them, made for each other stylistically. Gotta see it again. The whole Eubank-Benn rivalry is being reignited.
Yeah, thank God we will see it again. Just finally, 116, 112, does that score sit okay with you? I've heard very differing things around kind of us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'd need to watch it back. My gut feeling at the time, and it was difficult to score. I thought that the rounds were close, but I thought Eubank won, maybe by a couple, but I'd have to watch it back. Definitely the right guy won, but I was quite surprised it was 116, 112 all around. I was sitting next to one of the judges, and I mean, from my viewpoint, that's harsh on Conor Benn, but the right guy won. Chris won the fight, and that's fine. It doesn't matter, because Conor Benn covered himself in utter glory, and I'm telling you, I'm going to message him first thing in the morning. He should hold his head up high. He's a phenomenal, he's just a phenomenal fighter, and after everything he's been through, to put on a performance like that, I echo Eddie's words, you know, they must be so proud of him. But I'm also proud of Chris Jr. as well. I thought, you know, he's had a lot of stick. He's had a lot of people who wanted him to fail in this fight, and there was no failure. It was just Victor Loughlin watching an absolute drama show in there. There was blood all over his shirt. I mean, he kept looking at us, and it was extraordinary. It just shows the will to win for fighters, and they just wanted it so bad. It was just. I mean, yeah, it was a fantastic night.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th, Eubank Jr. versus Benn. 30 years of rivalry and hatred.
I do hate him.
All comes down to this. The next generation, a new destroyer. For family, history, legacy. Eubank Jr. versus Benn, April 26th. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.